Welcome to Cardboard Chemistry. I'm your host, MTG Ladman, and today is a good day. Today we just got back from MagicCon Las Vegas, spent the whole weekend at the con, and kind of just wanted to go over my personal experience at MagicCon Vegas 2026, and just share it with you. There's too many experiences, too many words to write a post about it. So figured turn it into a podcast episode, and just go through everything that happened during the weekend. You know, MagicCon is the biggest event in Magic. Three MagicCons this year, Vegas being the first. The previous MagicCon was Atlanta back in September of last year, so it has been 8 months, 7, 8 months since the last MagicCon. Um, Upcoming MagicCons are Amsterdam in July and then Atlanta in November. So first MagicCon in about 7 months, and just wanted to go over the main experience, my personal experience, and I'll start with day zero. Day zero of MagicCon, the day before MagicCon starts. Uh, I had gotten into Vegas early, not much to do, checked into the hotel, and decided to pop over to the convention center just to walk the floor at the convention center's open the day before MagicCon, so people can come, pick up your badges. If you are a creator, they'll let you pick up your badges. They'll let you walk around, whether you're a creator or not, they'll let you walk around the exterior of the convention center, not the show floor, but the exterior, and you can see all of the um, props and all of the big things set up. The MagicCon 20 or MagicCon Las Vegas sign was already there that you could get your picture taken next to, and figured I'd just walk around and check it out. And you know, being a small person in the community, right? I'm not a full-time podcaster. I'm not a full-time content creator. Um, I'm I'm a hobbyist for the podcast. Been playing Magic for 20 years, and to be recognized and seen at these conventions by the people you look up to, the content creators you look up to, the people in the community that you look up to, is is something that's really, really fun, really unique, really just puts you in a different mindset. Uh, so back to day zero, walking around the convention center, just checking it out. I run into Amara, Goddess of Blunder, Tomedy, and recognize them from meeting them in Atlanta. Had a long conversation with Amara and Tom. Get invited to um, jam a commander game with Amara and Tom, just sitting there on the convention floor waiting for people to pick up their badges, just trying to kill time to between checking into the hotel or checking into the various places where people were staying. Get joined by Alec from the Fairy Conclave, another Magic podcast. I do recommend you guys check them out. Check out Amara. She twitches. She streams live on Twitch. She does Warhammer minis, painting. She's going to start doing a plane chase and more Magic streaming over the summer. I recommend you check them out. Very, very great people. Very, very awesome people in the community. And so jam a game with them. We're sitting there chatting while we're playing. Get visited by Still City Steph and Brad. Steph and Brad are awesome, great couple. and they stream multiple times a week. Um, Commander limited open or pack opening. Um, great, great leaders in the community there. Veggie Wagon from Decked Out also stopped over, said hi to everyone. Veggie, great creator in and of himself, super awesome guy. Uh, he actually ran a event at Vegas, and he also did it in Atlanta last year called the Savvy Pin Traders. Uh, I actually signed up for that event this year, and it's all 3 days, play at your own pace, build a like a sealed deck off of the booster packs that you get from the event. But you can trade cards for cards, or pins for cards, or pins for pins to get whatever specific pin you're looking for, because you get the event exclusive pin, and then you also get mystery blind bag pin to use for trading. So really cool event. Um, Veggie uh, makes it special. He makes sure that he's there at least one time each of the days. And yeah, I'll move on to day one, because I'll talk more about the Savvy Pin Trader and everything. Uh, Day one, MagicCon Las Vegas, completely sold out for the entire weekend. All the badges were sold. I think it was 25,000 people in attendance for MagicCon Vegas. Um, the lines were incredibly long the first day. Um, and, you know, could it have been organized a little bit better for the entrance? Yes, but it's a massive event. I'm not going to critique the the security team on how it was set up. That was minimal compared to the venue was set up extremely well, um, and everything was actually pretty well spaced out once you got inside the convention center. So day one, meet and greets. Yeah, started my morning with meet and greets. Did the decked out team meet and greet. I had already met Nerd Girl and Veggie in Atlanta. Um, I I'm one of their patrons, so um, no surprise there that the decked out team was my first stop on the MagicCon meet and greets. Got to meet Schultz and Kuro Hitsuki, finally in person. Um, you know, had a nice exchange with them. Moved over, talked to Steph and Brad, who were at the next booth. Uh, like I said, Steph and Brad are awesome. The decked out team is some of the best creators in this space, in my opinion. Um, that whole team, it's a small team, and they do most of their work in editing and recording all in house, and work extremely hard and push out really high quality content. Honestly, like when you sit down, or when you sit there and watch their Commander shows, or um, listen to the Good Time Boys podcast, or watch Nerd Girl stream on Twitch, or watch her VODs on um, her YouTube channel, there's care and effort and um, connection put into those. Uh, I've had the honor of playing spell table games with Kuro and Bobby Christine, and I've had the privilege and honor to play in-person game with Nerd Girl, in-person game with Veggie and Schultz here at MagicCon Vegas on day two, and you know, there's no difference. It when you're sitting there playing in person with them, it's like you're sitting at their table in their studio back at uh, back in their recording studio for the decked out episodes, and it's honestly just a real good experience. Moved on, met Steph and Brad, talked to Steph and Brad. Uh, like I said, watch if you get a chance to stream. They usually stream like 10 p.m. Eastern time, a couple days a week. From there, walked over, talked to Ryan, Wooburg Sky Ryan. He runs the Wooburg Sky Discord server where you can meet up and jam spell table games. Uh, Also, Ryan does a really cool podcast called um, it's called he goes into the lore of some of the creature types, some of the folklore behind what has been inspired by magic. So really interesting, really cool. Um, they do some really cool narrations. He brings on a lot of guests to read the openings or read the folklore, um, and it's a really just really cool to listen to. Um, Moving on from there, uh, met up, hopped over the Birds of Paradise booth. Birds of Paradise, right, is all pushing for marginalized um, marginalized people in the Magic community, making sure that they have a safe space to play and feel comfortable in the community. Um, Jane Plays is the president that runs Birds of Paradise. Magic Mishamigo, and Cass, Strixhaven Dropout. Cass also writes articles, and they had, I mean, they had an amazing booth set up. They had a bunch continuous events that you could just sit down, do a pack war, or um, do multiple different events, different types of games for the convention. Their their tables were always full, and it's great to see, um, just great to see how much of an impact they make on the community, how popular their area was during the convention. I mean, all 3 days completely swarmed. Tried to hit up and talk to them during slower times just to, you know, say hi, have a chat, and honestly, really awesome people doing really amazing work in the community. Um, you know, has won a few cosplay contests. Jane is just an amazing cosplayer in and of herself, uh, and yeah, it's great. After that, I ran over to Magic Kids. Right, Magic Kids is all about teaching um, kids how to play Magic, making sure they feel comfortable, teaching them the game. And Bobby Christine was helping over at the Magic Kids. Went over, said hi to Bobby. Um, Bobby's just a kind, gentle soul that really looks to make sure the community is good and keeps the community on level. And I really appreciate everything that she does. Uh, yeah, moving on, uh, the con floor is incredibly busy. Uh, So plenty of things to do. Like I said, my whole thing when I go to the conventions is to talk and meet up with people that I haven't seen in 6 months, a year. Uh, I don't attend every MagicCon. It's hard to try to make every one of them right. I'd love to. I'd love to hit all three MagicCons a year. I'd love to hit um, all the CSI cons and the Command Fests and everything, but there's just not enough time, not enough vacation time to do that. So uh, if I make a single large Magic Con a year and one of the smaller cons a year, I'm happy. That's my goal every year is to try to hit two cons, and so it's it's just nice. It's honestly like a homecoming. Um, like I said, I'm a small creator, part time. Um, just do this as a hobby. Just do this as a way to um, release my passion for the game, um, and it's like I said, it's kind of a humbling experience when you are what you perceive as a normal just person that is virtually not known in the community, and then to have these creators and people that you look up to and respect just you know blindside you by remembering you and saying hi and coming over and chatting with you and you know interacting with you, even though most of your interactions have been through the internet, through social media, and actually see that those social media interactions mean something and aren't just a a polite a politeness and chat, and it's great. Um, Continuing on with day one, uh, when I was talking with Veggie during the meet and greet, he's like, "Oh, by the way, I have my Savvy Trader thing today. I'm going to be over there at like 1 o'clock." So after doing all of my initial running around, saying hi to everyone in the morning, um, got close to doing the Savvy Trader event. I sat there day one. I think three or four of us showed up, and so it was just three or four of us with Veggie at the table, and you get to chat with Veggie. Um, Veggie, like I said, takes time, takes puts in the effort to show up for the community and show up for the fans. I mean, we were there for hour and a half, almost 2 hours, um, just talking and opening up packs and trading cards and stuff like that. So, really great experience. Um, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to say in words, but it's really appreciated the effort that these guys go to make sure that everybody's having a good time. Um, and continuing on, we had the art of cosplay was set up in the artist area. Walked over there, checked that out. It had some of the really great cosplay costumes from some of the creators in the space. They had uh, Peachy Pop, who is an amazing cosplayer, does a lot of engineering in her cosplays. They had her cosplay from MagicCon Atlanta last year, the Angel from Edge of Eternities. I mean, I spoke with Peachy last in Atlanta about the wings and everything, and the the fact that those were laser cut, the framing of the wings was laser cut, the feathering that she did, and then the LED strips where the wings actually illuminated was just crazy. You could get up pretty close to these costumes. Um, they had them set up really nicely, really displayed really well that you could go in and get up close and look at the details and quality and effort that the cosplayers put in. They had Olivia Gobert Hicks's uh, Liliana crown, which I'd seen pictures of it before. I've seen it on some of their content, and to see it up close in person, and you're like, "Oh, that's actually made of metal. How much does that weigh?" Like having that on your head, like the stuff that you don't think about. And then uh, they had Zebek's his Vraska costume on display, and I don't know how much effort or how much time Zebek's put into that, but that was just an incredibly intricate, incredibly um, just phenomenal cosplay with so much detail. And Zebek's is really cool. Um, and just to see that the effort and care that these cosplayers put into their costumes and their costume work. Um, you know, you don't know how many hours upon hours it takes to do something, to create something like that, and just the dedication to the craft that they have is just something um, admirable to see. Um, then moving on after checking that out, I kind of needed a break, needed a way to sit down and chill. Um, if you have never been to MagicCon, they have multiple puzzles that you can do at the convention. There's usually a Fibblethip scavenger hunt. There's like 8 or so um, banners or these cardboard stand-ups that are scattered throughout the con that have QR codes on them that you scan. Um, Inside the MagicCon app, there is a Find Fibblethip game, and you click on the location and you scan it, and then it tracks your progress. Um, because with your badge, it's linked to that MagicCon app. You activate your badge through the MagicCon app. Once you collect all 8 Fibblethip images, you then go over to the scavenger hunt redemption, and you get whatever prize they're giving out. Last year in Atlanta, it was a pin. This year, it was a sticker pack of all of the different Fibbletips that you were looking for during the scavenger hunt. Um, they have this year for Strixhaven, they had a 5 college um, puzzle. So each of the colleges had a specific puzzle that you had to solve, and then once all 5 of those were solved, you had to do a final exam. And so, like Silver Quill was like this poetry rhyming uh, puzzle that you had to use their vocabulary words and then find a word that rhymed with that to fill in another line, and then build out the solution there. Uh, Prismari had this visual minesweeper like puzzle that you had to solve. Um, Witherbloom was you had to make a hybrid animal out of two animals, um, and fill in the words from using the correct animal combinations. Lorehold was these um, broken in half relics that had text, and then you had to convert those text to actual words and fill it out. And then Quandrix was math. You had to do a bunch of math, but you didn't have to do it all by yourself. You could team up with people that had already started in one, or you know divide and conquer the puzzles. Um, I was lucky enough to run into a group that had completed the Quandrix, and um, I had already completed Silver Quill and Witherbloom by myself. Teamed up with them to do the Lorehold one, and then we finished the Prismari, turned it in, and then we took the final exam, and then got the final exam. And for that, you got to choose a really, really unique, really cool looking pin from the colleges. Um, and that was that was that. Um, Last thing for day one was running into a Wizards employee and trading one of the Wizard staff for the con exclusive Fibblethip pin. Every MagicCon, there's an exclusive Wizards of the Coast um, Fibblethip pin that you can only get by trading with one of the Wizard staff, and was able to secure the Fibblethip um, and have a good time with that. And then moving on, we'll move on to day two. Day two, not a whole lot scheduled. Um, got talk with Steph and Brad on Monday, or on the first day of MagicCon, and then we set up a game, jammed a full game of Commander with Steph and Brad. Uh, did a did the Bloomborough puzzle. That's another puzzle at MagicCon. You have to pair up the heroes of Bloomborough with the specific Calamity Beasts, and then do kind of like a connect the creatures with multiple rolls, and then you turn that in, and you get a really cool mana symbol pin. I had gotten the island at Atlanta, and then I got the swamp this year. Um, and then did a little bit more of the savvy trading event with a veggie in that area, and then had my in-person game with commander game with Veggie and Schultz from the decked out team at in the evening. Um, Great way to kind of both bookmark day two with a commander game at the beginning of the day, and then a commander game at the end of the day. And yeah, then day three was just knocking out my games for the Savvy Trader event to get my tickets. 6 games, took a big chunk of the morning, um, and then kind of floated around the con, said hi to people, did some shopping, uh, hit the vendors that I actually wanted to get to throughout the con. Um, you know, Sundays is kind of a double-edged sword. Lines are shorter, but a lot of product is gone by that point. So depending on what you're looking for, there are people that rush, day one uh, to get to the vendors, to get to the official shop, to pick up the secret layers and stuff that they sell at the official shop. Um, I don't need anything that bad, so I usually wait till the end. Um, and it's kind of nice. Short line, walk up. I got the MagicCon Vegas soccer jersey top and a pin. Right. I don't need to run and grab everything. Um, and it's just nice, a nice kind of chill day, relax, moved at my own pace, said hi to people, continued to talk to people, and did the savvy trading, and um, was still somehow managed to be at the convention center till almost 6 o'clock. Uh, and yeah, just a completely enjoyable experience. I didn't get to hit game nights live, Commander at Home live. Um, I did drop into uh, uh, Joe Johnson from Tabletop Jocks, ran a um, D&D-esque arch enemy game with um, like set in Strixhaven. That was really cool. I caught the first half of that. On day two, they did this really fun, um, fantasy draft, like a fantasy football draft, where you chose planeswalkers as your draft picks, and Zabricus and Irene the Alien and multiple other people were on the panel for that, and that was a blast. That was like I never laughed so hard in like an hour of an event of a panel. That was really cool. They did. There was just so much going on, so much um, time. I didn't even talk about uh, the cat secret lair. They had actually brought in a whole pavilion that was of cats for adoption, like little kittens for adoption, and you could go in and you could play with the kittens and stuff. Really adorable, really really cute little kittens on the con floor. Of course, quarantined off to their little area so that they weren't running around the convention center. Uh, Also, for the first time, they had tap tap mini golf. Um, that seemed to be really popular. I always got there just in time for them to have sold out tickets for the day. So missed out on doing it, but walked around the outside and checked it out. Really cool. They had just these little mini golf courses set up for the various planes. I mean, you had Innistrad, you had Zendikar, you had Edge of Eternities, uh, and Lorwyn and stuff like that. You just had like these little themed mini golf courses based on the various planes of Magic, and I'm hoping the next time I go to a MagicCon, they still have that, they keep that, because I'd love to just uh, play some mini golf through the planes. Um, Honestly, like I said, I'm not I don't attend these things for uh, getting product or getting getting you know to like fan out to um, to do that kind of stuff, or to jam as many games as possible. It's for me, it's the social aspect, the community, the sense of community. Like I like coming to these things because it's that feeling you get when you haven't seen friends in a while, and so you know I took it easy this con. I only booked one ticketed play event, which I still highly recommend if you have Savvy Pin Trader by Veduwagon. Um, please sign up for it. It's probably out of all of the events that I've done, ticketed play events, probably my favorite one that I've done. So if you have a chance to go to a MagicCon, um, I would highly recommend in doing so. Um, it is pricey. I know a lot of people can't afford to to do that. Um, but it just this the whole convention shows that while every community has the outliers and the fringe outliers of the community that aren't as positive or that can be negative to the community, the vast majority of the community is extremely supportive and extremely helpful. And that's what I love about Magic. That's what I love about these conventions is just the sense of community, the sense of friendship and camaraderie that come with these things. Um, and even if you don't attend to the convention, if you know there's a creator that you like, um, you know, if you have the means to do so, to support them and help their content. I mean, even if it's just like, a share, a subscribe, a comment on a YouTube video, uh, something that shows them that you're paying attention. It helps them out. I mean, it's we're at a day and age where it's our attention's pulled in so many different directions that some of us don't have time to, you know, watch a YouTube video, watch a short. I mean, a lot of shorts are, a lot of short form content's the way things go, but um, get a lot more views because people have less time. But some of the longer form content is is top notch, and I just encourage everyone to, support your favorite creators, support the community. Um, just if you're on the fence about, being a bigger part of the community or even, going to a convention to show how much you like the game, I encourage you to try to um, come out of your shell a little bit and push yourself to go because it's overall a very humbling, a very enjoyable experience. I was super shy um, and kind of awkward last in Atlanta because my first con, and I didn't know how people were going to be. And I mean, I look back and 7 months from then, it's no no fear, no hesitation to go up and talk to um, any of the creators or any of the people in the community because it's honestly just like talking to talking to somebody that you've known for a while. So that's all I have for today, guys. I know it was kind of long, but like I said, there's a lot of emotions I'm still trying to process. Um, just how much of a great experience it was, and just how much actually happened at the con. And thanks for listening. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.